Have you ever stood in front of a closed door and felt your entire future collapse in that single moment? One email, one rejection, one goodbye, one unexpected ending can shake everything you believed was certain. You planned carefully, prayed sincerely, worked relentlessly, and still the opportunity vanished. The relationship dissolved. The dream dissolved in your hands like mist. In those moments, it is easy to whisper to yourself that maybe you were wrong, maybe you were overlooked, maybe heaven forgot your name. But what if the closed door was not a cancellation? What if it was a redirection? What if the silence you fear is not abandonment, but adjustment? The truth is this: God's plan for you is not cancelled, just redirected. And sometimes the greatest evidence of divine guidance is not the doors that open easily, but the ones that shut firmly enough to stop you from walking into something smaller than your destiny. When plans collapse, the pain feels personal. You replay every decision, every conversation, every step that led you there. You ask yourself what you missed. You ask why the timing failed. You question whether you misunderstood the signs. But destiny is rarely a straight highway. It is more like a winding road through mountains where visibility is limited and curves appear without warning. If you could see the full map of your life from beginning to end, you would realize that what felt like a dead end was actually a necessary turn. You would understand that the opportunity you lost would have limited your growth. You would see that the relationship that ended would have confined your spirit. You would recognize that the delay you resented was protecting you from a premature arrival. We often believe that progress must look smooth to be real. We assume that favor means ease, but real transformation is rarely comfortable. It stretches you. It confuses you. It forces you into unfamiliar territory. And in that unfamiliarity, fear grows louder. Fear tells you that you are behind. Fear tells you that others are moving forward while you are stuck. Fear whispers that the dream is fading. But fear only speaks from the present moment. It cannot see the future. It cannot see what is being arranged behind the scenes. It cannot see the conversations happening in rooms you have never entered. It cannot see the protection disguised as rejection. There is a divine intelligence guiding your path, even when your emotions insist otherwise. Whose because something ended does not mean your purpose ended with it. Just because someone walked away does not mean your value decreased. Whose because a plan failed does not mean your calling failed. Sometimes a closed door is heaven's way of preventing you from settling. Sometimes what feels like loss is actually a rescue. The redirection may feel abrupt, even harsh, but it is precise. Nothing about your journey is random. Even the disappointments carry instruction. Even the delays carry preparation. Think about how many times in your life you wanted something desperately, only to look back later and feel grateful it did not work out. At the time, it felt devastating. It felt unfair. It felt like a setback you could not afford. Yet, with distance, clarity came. You saw what you could not see then. You understood why that door had to close. Now imagine that the situation you are facing today will one day look the same. Imagine looking back from 5 years ahead, realizing that this very disappointment positioned you for something greater, that this interruption was alignment, that this rerouting was mercy. But here is where suspense enters the story of your life. There will be a season when nothing seems to move. You will pray and hear no immediate answer. You will try again and face another obstacle. You will begin to wonder whether you misunderstood your calling altogether. This is the testing ground of faith. Not faith when everything flows, but faith when everything feels paused. It is in this quiet, uncertain space that character is formed. It is here that resilience is built. It is here that your trust deepens beyond circumstances. The silence is not empty. It is active. The delay is not wasted. It is strategic. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being ignored. You are being redirected. There is a difference between a closed door and a blocked destiny. A closed door simply means that the path you chose is not the one that leads to the fullness of your potential. It means the blueprint is bigger than your current vision. It means that the dream you created for yourself is smaller than the reality being prepared for you. And sometimes, the only way to protect you from shrinking your own future is to remove the option entirely. If the door had stayed open, you might have walked through it confidently, unaware that it would cap your growth. If the relationship had continued, you might have compromised your standards to keep it. If the opportunity had succeeded, you might have settled into comfort instead of stretching into greatness. Redirection is not comfortable, but it is purposeful. And when you begin to see your setbacks through that lens, something shifts inside you. You stop interpreting every obstacle as rejection. You begin to ask a different question. Not why did this happen to me, but where is this leading me? And that shift in perspective is the first step toward understanding that your story is still unfolding exactly as it should. There comes a point in every journey when the redirection feels more confusing than comforting. You begin to question whether you have misread every sign, whether your dreams were illusions, whether your prayers were too ambitious. You look at others who seem to be advancing smoothly, and you quietly wonder why your road feels longer, steeper, and uncertain. Comparison becomes a subtle thief of peace, whispering that you are behind schedule. But destiny does not operate on human timelines. What appears delayed in your eyes may actually be perfectly timed in a higher design. The seed does not break the soil the day it is planted. It remains hidden, buried in darkness, developing roots before anyone sees growth. In the same way, your life may be in a rooting season. Invisible progress is still progress. It is natural to crave clarity. You want to know where you are going. You want confirmation that your effort is not wasted. You want assurance that the sacrifices will produce something meaningful. Yet clarity often arrives after obedience, not before it. You are asked to take steps without full understanding. You are invited to trust without complete evidence. And this is where inner strength is forged. When you keep moving forward without applause, without validation, without immediate results, you build a resilience that success alone could never teach you. You discover that your identity is not tied to one opportunity, one relationship, or one plan. You realize that your worth is not measured by what works quickly, but by who you become in the waiting. In the middle of redirection, there is a temptation to retreat. You consider lowering your expectations. You think about choosing something easier, something safer, something that guarantees less disappointment. The mind seeks comfort when the heart feels uncertain. But comfort is not the same as purpose. Safety is not the same as fulfillment. You were not created to live a minimized life simply because the first version of your dream did not unfold. The discomfort you feel is not a signal to quit. It is a signal that you are stretching beyond your previous limits. Growth rarely feels stable at first. It feels like instability because old foundations are being replaced with stronger ones. There will be nights when doubt grows louder than hope. You will replay failures in your mind. You will analyze what you could have done differently. You will wrestle with the fear that maybe this redirection is actually a permanent detour away from everything you desired. This is the moment where perspective becomes power. You must remind yourself that redirection does not mean regression. It does not mean you are starting from zero. Every experience, even the painful ones, has added layers of wisdom to you. You now see warning signs more clearly. You now understand your boundaries more deeply. You now recognize your strengths with sharper awareness. Nothing you walked through was wasted. What you call a setback may actually be a setup. The opportunity that slipped away may have lacked the capacity to carry the person you are becoming. The door that closed may have been too small for the expansion happening within you. Sometimes we grieve the loss of what could not sustain our growth. We mistake limitation for opportunity simply because it was familiar. But redirection often feels like loss before it reveals itself as elevation. You cannot always see the upgrade while you are standing in the hallway between doors. The hallway feels empty, echoing, uncertain. Yet it is in that very space that new direction is being arranged. Suspense deepens when nothing around you changes externally, but something inside you begins to shift. You start noticing that your priorities are evolving. The things you once chased no longer excite you the same way. The approval you once sought feels less necessary. You sense that you are being pulled towards something different. Though EO cannot yet define it, this internal transformation can be unsettling because it detaches you from your old identity before your new one fully forms. You are no longer who you were, but you are not yet who you will be. That in-between space tests your confidence. It demands patience. It challenges your ability to trust unseen movement. The greatest danger during redirection is not failure, it is misinterpretation. If you misinterpretation the pause as abandonment, you may stop preparing. If you misinterpret a closed door as proof of unworthiness, you may shrink your vision. If you misinterpret delay as denial, you may abandon the very path that is aligning you for something greater. The narrative you tell yourself during uncertainty will either strengthen or sabotage you. You must choose a narrative rooted in faith rather than fear. You must decide that, even without visible proof, there is intentional guidance at work in your life. Consider how navigation systems operate when you miss a turn. They do not panic. They do not declare the destination unreachable. They simply recalculate and offer a new route. The destination remains programmed. The path adjusts. In the same way, God's GPS may have rerouted, but the destination of blessing is still locked in. You may not recognize the scenery. You may feel unfamiliar with the terrain. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means new. And new is often the birthplace of greater capacity. When you finally look back on this season, you will see that the redirection refined you. It clarified what truly matters. It strengthened your discernment. It deepened your faith. It expanded your endurance. The road you thought was taking you away from your purpose was actually guiding you toward a more aligned version of it. And as you continue forward, even without complete understanding, you are proving something powerful. That your trust is stronger than your fear. And your belief in a greater plan is stronger than temporary disappointment. There is a powerful transformation that happens when you stop fighting the redirection and start embracing it. Resistance drains your energy, but acceptance restores your strength. The moment you shift from asking why this door closed to asking what this new path is preparing you for, you reclaim your power. You begin to walk differently. You begin to think differently. You begin to understand that your life is not a random sequence of accidents, but a carefully woven design where even detours serve a divine purpose. The disappointment that once felt heavy starts to feel meaningful. The delay that once felt frustrating begins to feel strategic. You realize that you are not wandering, you are being guided. It is easy to trust when outcomes align with your expectations. It is harder to trust when outcomes challenge your vision. But true faith is not built on visible confirmation. It is built on conviction that transcends circumstances. When you understand that God's plan for you is not cancelled, just redirected, you stop interpreting change as chaos. You begin to see it as calibración. You recognize that sometimes what feels like a step backward is actually a repositioning that creates momentum for a greater leap forward. A bow must be pulled backward before the arrow can fly. That backward pull is not defeat. It is preparation for distance. There will be moments when you are tempted to revisit old doors, to knock again on spaces that have already closed. Nostalgia can make the past look more promising than it truly was. You may romanticize what you lost and forget the reasons it could not sustain you. But growth requires forward movement. You cannot step into expanded territory while clinging to expired chapters. Every closed door carries a message. This is not wow. Ere your story ends, if it were meant to be permanent, it would not have required struggle to maintain. What is aligned with your destiny will not demand you to shrink in order to keep it. As you continue on this redirected path, you will notice something subtle yet profound. You are becoming stronger than you ever imagined. Challenges that once intimidated you no longer hold the same power. Rejection that once crushed your confidence now refines your focus. Uncertainty that once triggered anxiety now invites deeper trust. This internal shift is the true evidence of progress. Success is not only measured by external achievements, but by internal evolution. You are not just moving toward a destination. You are being transformed into someone capable of sustaining it. There is also a quiet confidence that begins to emerge. It is not loud or arrogant. It is steady. It is rooted in the understanding that your life is unfolding with intention. You stop chasing validation. You stop rushing timelines. You stop forcing outcomes. Instead, you move with awareness. You listen more closely to your intuition. You become selective about the opportunities you pursue. You value alignment over urgency. This maturity is not accidental. It is the product of every closed door, every unexpected turn, every season of waiting that taught you patience and discernment. One day, what feels confusing now will make complete sense. The pieces will connect in ways you could not have predicted. You will see how the rejection led to refinement. You will see how the heartbreak led to self-discovery. You will see how the delay built endurance. You will realize that if the original plan had worked exactly as you imagined, you might have missed something far greater. The redirection was not a disruption. It was an upgrade. It required courage to walk away from what ended. It required faith to step into what was unknown. But that courage and faith are shaping a future more expansive than your initial blueprint. Even now, while you may not see the full picture, something is aligning. Conversations are being arranged. Opportunities are being positioned. Growth is happening beneath the surface. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean movement is absent. Roots grow deep before branches rise high. Foundations are strengthened before structures expand. The invisible work is just as important as the visible breakthrough. Trust that the unseen preparation is building capacity for what is coming. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are in transition, and transition is a sign of movement, not stagnation. The discomfort you feel is evidence that you are evolving. The uncertainty you experience is proof that you are stepping into unfamiliar territory that requires greater trust. Stay committed, stay open, stay willing to follow where you are led, even when the path looks different than what you planned. Your story is still being written. The chapters you thought were final were simply turning points. The doors that closed were not punishments, they were pivots. The plan did not collapse, it expanded. And as you continue forward with resilience and faith, you will eventually stand in a place that makes you grateful for every redirection. You will understand that the route changed because the destination was bigger than you knew.